Hi, this is Doug Wachesek, founder of SorryWorks, with another SorryWorks Minute. In today's SorryWorks Minute, we're going to talk about interviewing the family. I received an email a little earlier this year from a gentleman who had a family member injured, hurt by what he thought was poor care in a hospital that was pretty well known. Is pretty well known for disclosure, and the hospital, empathized. They said sorry it happened. They promised a review. They did the review, and when the review was over, they met with the gentleman and his family and said, look, again, we're sorry this happened, but it wasn't our fault. We delivered good care that day. We owe you nothing more than more empathy and a promise to continue care if you want to continue using our facility. And the gentleman in the email that he wrote to me didn't believe the hospital at all. He thought the review was a complete sham. And why is this? Why did he not believe the review? Why didn't he think it was credible? Because nobody sat down and got his side of the story. Nobody interviewed him. Now, it's kind of interesting. I read this email and I think about this person. I think about other patients and families I've met. Think about my own family and what I've been through and what we've been through. People watch TV shows. They watch. I call this the Law and Order phenomenon. Boom Boom, where in the start of every one of those cops and robbers shows, they show something bad happening, and the police or the investigators are always asking the complainant, the person making the complaint, the person who got hurt or injured, their side of the story. They're asking, what did they look like? Did you get a license plate number? Which way they go? Et cetera, et cetera. So this is a societal expectation. And this is what this man was bringing into this disclosure process. This gentleman was bringing in the disclosure process, and his expectations were not met. Now, you may say that Law and Order and cops and robbers shows the criminal justice system as it is different than the medical system, and when we deal with medical malpractice. But is it really? Is it really that much different? And should we behave much differently after an adverse event? Because when we certainly, we do a review, we certainly spend a lot of time talking amongst, ourselves as colleagues. Doctors and nurses talk amongst themselves, risk managers, claims managers, defense counsel. Everyone tries to get together and figure out what happened. You may bring in outside experts, all that stuff. But should we or should we not talk to the patient or family in that process? Should we not interview them, get their side of the story? I'm arguing, because of this email and what I'm saying in this YouTube video, that you should interview the patient or family. Patients and families can have a lot of information, a lot of great information that can help your review either way, whether the review shows it was an error or maybe your staff is exonerated. Because in today's healthcare environment where we've got more and more handoffs, sometimes the only constant in the care continuum is the patient, is the family, and they're watching it all unfold. And a lot of patient safety advocates, celebrity physicians, and other folks are encouraging patients and families to take detailed notes and write down and not be afraid to advocate. So shouldn't we want to get their side of the story, because they may have a lot of great knowledge, a lot of great information to share that can help the review. I wrote an e-newsletter about this, and I had several people email in afterwards, several doctors email in afterwards and say, yeah, you know what, the family often does know a lot, and they'll sometimes share things with us that the staff might want to minimize or not want to remember so well. So I think from a credibility standpoint, it is so important to get the patient family perspective, sit down and get their side of the story. And at the very minimum, even if the family really has nothing that can contribute to the medical review, at the very minimum, this act of interviewing the patient and family, talking with them, sitting down and getting their side of the story, letting them know that you're listening, that they're being heard, is an incredible act of validation. It's an incredible act of empathy, and it's all about staying connected, which for a lot of people, that's so important, and that's what a lot of what we preach at SorryWorks: staying connected, empathizing, and validating. After I did my e-newsletter on this topic, or a couple e-newsletters on this topic earlier this year in 2012, I had a risk manager write in and say, I've never interviewed the family, never thought to interview the family or the patient during my review process, but I had a case recently where it was a sad case, but we believed the care was good. the outside experts said the care was good, but I sat down and interviewed that patient and family. I got their side of the story, and that was it. It took the edge off everything. They just wanted to be heard. And how many times do we hear in medical malpractice cases, it's not only that no one said sorry, nobody stayed connected, it's that nobody heard, nobody cared to hear what the patient or family had to say. Nobody validated their feelings and their anger and their grief. So the act of interviewing, I think, is so important. I think it's something that we should make in every disclosure program. It's something we really need to do to reach out to our patients and families. It's something that's going to be not only beneficial to patients and families, but also beneficial to the caregivers and to the hospitals and insurance companies. That's this week's SorryWorks Minute. I hope you've enjoyed. If you want more information on SorryWorks, about our presentations or our new online disclosure training program for frontline staff with our partner Elm, please give us a call at 618-559-8168 or drop us an email at doug@sorryworks.net, and we'd be happy to help you. Thank you very much.